Good day and welcome to a new video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe! Hello and welcome today. Today I'm going over my January sketchbook. So these are all drawings that I've done in January. I do 4 words a week. So there's 4 drawings a week. And the first word I've got is celebration. I did think that fireworks was also one, but it was posted on the first, but then I looked at it and it actually was for the last day of last year, and I was like, oh, okay, because sometimes I post them on Instagram, and I post them usually on the day I draw them, but depends on what happens that week, because I post the 4 times a week with it. So sometimes I do Tuesday to Friday. I think it was one of those days that I did Tuesday to Friday. So that means that I have the drawing, I take the photo at the evening, night, or whenever I can take the photo, and then post it the next day. So that's, I think, what was happening that week. Which is kind of good. There's not so much pressure to post it that day and get it done. But I still have to get done obviously that day. I end up like a day behind or something. But yeah, I've got 4 drawings that I do every week. And sometimes I choose to do mainly creatures. I do delve sometimes into things that I do feel like I struggle with, like drawing the anatomy, and things like that, those key things. Usually on the Thursday or the last day of me drawing these, I do pick the 4 words for next week for them. Sometimes though it ends up being like the first day back doing the drawings, I end up deciding on them. And this was a cool one, holiday. I think I spent, I was deciding to actually spend like a little bit more time kind of finishing things up, trying to get a better drawing. That's what I was more focused on in doing this drawing here. So I feel like that worked out a little bit better. I was more focused on trying to get a good drawing versus just trying to get that day done and finished. Like kind of like Inktober. In Inktober, sometimes you focus a little bit on trying to get every day done and make sure you get every day. With this one, I was more focused on making sure that the drawing I was working on was looking good, and it didn't seem just like another sketchbook drawing they've done that's not too fancy to look at, So all these drawings had their different levels. Obviously, because some days I'm kind of in a hurry, I guess, or I was just trying to get it done, or the idea, like I had more ideas, but ran out of time or something like that. But every day has a different level of how the drawing turns out, and that's just hit and miss. It's there's only so much I can do about that. Not every drawing that I do is going to be perfect or amazing. Some of these days I feel like they're okay, could be better, things like that. Or I've drawn there a few times, but maybe another day looked better than it, or another drawing I did of it, because sometimes I have like 3 or 4 attempts at drawing this word or this character or something, and maybe the first drawing I did of this character looks better than the final product in the end, and that's just hit and miss sometimes. It may seem like the first drawing I do might end up being a little bit more cuter than me trying to make it look better and absolutely like murdering it. losing some of that kind of cuteness by trying to make it look good. Yeah, you just gotta pay attention to it. And if you don't know what the words are that I'm drawn from, they're down in the right hand corner. You can find them there. If they're spelt wrong, not my fault. Not the most best at spelling words, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they all kind of are spelled right. Yeah. So yeah, this one was defend. Yeah, it definitely is spelled right. It just looks like it's spelled wrong in a way. Yeah. But yeah, I was trying something new with this one as well. I was obviously using a human in this drawing, as well as creatures. He's trying to defend this creature, parrot-like creature. Yeah, he's trying to defend. Sorry, he's trying to defend this little small creature from this this big bird thingy, if that makes sense now. But yeah, in battle, two creatures with horns kind of battling it out. This one, I could have done better as well. But it is what it is. Some days I've got to just just do it. Just keep doing it for keeping myself drawing, keeping myself creating things every day. That's kind of the main focus on it. Me making sure that I've got 4 drawings a week that I've done. Obviously, and then that expands to other things as well. Like for this day, I might draw something. It's a battle. Yeah, it makes sense. It's a battle, and then I might find something like struggling. I struggled with this scene. Then I can find space in my book somewhere or another piece of paper or something, and tackle the problem a little bit. Think about what I could have done better, and keep drawing and drawing different angles of the scene and things like that to strengthen my understanding. So it also, it finds me some weak points as well. With doing this every day, I have to come up with ideas, and then once I've got the idea to draw, I have to draw the idea. But yeah, sometimes the idea doesn't turn out the best it can. I mean, I only spend less than an hour on these drawings, so I've got to, in that time, sometimes about half an hour usually, sometimes. But I've got to think of the idea first, how I'm going to position these characters and things, and then draw them. This shield one, I felt like this could have been better, and I think I did have kind of a drawing, a situation where I did kind of had a previous drawing, so I did a few drawings of the idea of shield, how I would present it. I think one of the previous drawings I did was a little bit better. I was trying to go for a kind of this frog-like creature that has kind of a puffed out shield in him. This is the idea. So some of these feel a little bit more like a kind of a quick idea sometimes. It's what I notice happens sometimes. I think I was busy at this stage, there's a lot going on, so, didn't have a lot of time to draw this. So just kind of wanted to get it done, unfortunately. I felt like it was okay, it kept me going, and, I did it. And the idea is there, so if I want to somehow incorporate this idea, again, like for instance, I could use the word croak, or something to do with like the frogs, breathing or something, his whole thing coming out, throat coming out, that bit that comes out. I could use that word to redo this word, redo this drawing somehow, you reincorporate it into another word, or in my own time, or some time that I'm just doodling and drawing and stuff. I could look at this idea again and try to expand on it, try to get it looking proper and right. And that happens, some days I have pretty, bad drawings, maybe a good idea, but the drawing doesn't look as good as, what the idea's intentions are, which happens. And yeah, that happens with all like design and creating stuff, illustrations and things like that. Sometimes you do with the drawing, the initial drawing or something doesn't look that great, but by the time you get to actually processing and redrawing it a few times, maybe it just needs a little bit of a different angle or something. It looks quite good, in the end result. And sometimes you notice things, for me, a little bit that would have fixed this drawing is a little bit of like drop shadow for that X. Just a wee bit, possibly. That could be one thing that could fix this drawing a little bit. A little bit of foreshadowing, shadow on the bottom there to show, a little bit of shading and things like that. That could have fixed this drawing a little bit. It definitely, some of the hands feel a little funny too. But this one I felt was okay. I did the word, obviously. X, he's breaking something with the X. Every day is different, and that's what's enjoyable about it. Every day is different. I'm drawing a new idea every day, and drawing this in a different way as well, because every day I'm trying new things. I'm dealing with little bits of, like, here I'm doing a little bit of anatomy, obviously. Here I was trying to expand again, just come back and goes back to work, and then doing this at lunch. And I was trying to render it a bit better, making it feel like rocks joined together, to really create this character, this rocky character, which, it's turned out okay. Sometimes it feels like it could be a little like overshaded sometimes. For me, it may look a little bit overshaded. Sometimes you can do that, you can overshade it a bit, and it doesn't look the best. But I think now looking at it, possibly maybe just a little bit more shading, just tiny little bit more. But yeah, it's I reckon it has turned out alright. And that's the thing. I've explored new things in doing this challenge. Every day, sometimes I tackle new things. I try to make texture in this drawing here. I've tried to really get to know the texture of the rock, try to capture that in a drawing, and without detailing it too much as well. And I feel like I've explored something, and that's the thing. Some of these days that I've done these drawings, they are a little bit of experiments, so they may not turn out the best because they are obviously something new I'm trialing, or a different kind of angle than I'm used to drawing, kind of a thing, or like I said, texture, but it leads to better things. I mean, this drawing just came after it, and you can see, it's gotten, some of my drawing has gone a little bit better at points. during these days that I've kept on drawing the January drawings, in January, specifically, they have developed further as they go along. They have kind of gone up and down though. Some days are good, some days are, and then hit a point, to point you before, and then they go up a little bit. But they go up and down. I mean, there are obviously times when I'm pushing times when I'm pushing things and really trying to learn things, and times when I'm just getting by trying to get the drawing done and things like that. And yeah, I can't obviously tackle new things all the time, because I won't get the actual drawings done, and sometimes I do just need that little bit of a break, and kind of just get this drawing done and then do some study stuff on the side. And sometimes that happens, like I do my daily drawing, that I do with the word. So this word's lava. Do it, and then I do like 10 or 5 other drawings, and the better than that day's drawing, like it happens. I might feel like I might actually think about for next month doing this, because I just finished it. It's actually, it's the last day of the month. As I'm recording this, it's the last day of the month. So, looking at next month, I possibly will, possibly do like warm-up drawings. I'll look into it, like do little warm-up drawings or something, just drawings of something interesting, and then go and do my daily sketch thing, and then try and get a good drawing. It's possible that I might give that a go, like at least for 1 or 2 days, give it a go, see if it works, to make a more developed sketch for these daily drawings. It could, if I did that, the only way I would have is that, I may not be able to fully finish it one lunch, but I mean, that is probably gonna be okay, because if I don't kind of finish a drawing, like if there's something a little bit missing, I either can kind of just quickly finish it off the next lunch or something, if I really need to, or just kind of post it as is. If it's unfinished a little bit but it looks okay, I could just post it as is, and decide to finish it on later. The likelihood that happening might not happen either, so I think I will try that next month, and see what happens if I get better developed drawings for these monthly drawings, or if it doesn't make a difference. I'm hoping it does make a difference, but we'll have to see, what happens. And just do this. So it's been a wee bit so far. I've gone through quite a few drawings here, as you can see. This one's stone. I thought it was kind of interesting, this one, because I already done rocks before, and so I created a creature out of rock. So with stone, I was like, I don't want to kind of create a character out of stone, because then it might just feel like a rock. And then I thought of the idea of the whole sword in the stone. And in the end, I was like, well, why don't we have this kind of creature pull out this sword, and then upside down pulling it out from a tree. That ended up being the final idea, and that's this could turn out to be an interesting painting, if I ever painted it. Um, and that's what's good, I'm getting out all these ideas and drawings that I could take further one day, maybe there might be a drawing or a painting a drawing that I do of these sketches that I really want to turn into a painting. And yeah, it's really good just to get all my ideas. I think it helps me get some bad ideas out, I guess, because yeah, I feel like there are some days that I do these drawings, the idea might not be that great sometimes. The drawing's alright, but the idea could be better. Sometimes it works like that too, the drawing's great, but the idea of it's just not that great, Sometimes it works out like that. Um, if you can hit both, a good idea and looks really great, then you get something superb, something amazing, and that's what I try to hit. With these drawings, though, I don't try and hit as much because it is, it's time consuming to get to hit them both for me. And yeah, I don't have a lot of time to do these sketches. If it was like one sketch for the whole month, it might be alright, but then, I wouldn't be so productive as well. Eventually, I will probably drop the drawing or something, or just call it finished when it's not fully finished, and yeah, I wouldn't continue drawing it a lot. Yeah, this was a cute idea, I was just thinking, little muffin. This creature's just like trying to, he's just licking the muffin and trying to eat it. Yeah, I thought this is a little cute idea. It's just a quick kind of sketch, this one. I guess this day I was trying to get it out of the way. Yeah, but I did it basically. And that's the thing. That's what happens some days, as I say. Muffin. Some words though, yeah, are a bit harder than others. Like muffin, you know. I could have done a little muffin person possibly, but I felt like that was too close to kind of those muffin people you see on the YouTube channel. On that ASDF, I think it is, with the little muffin people. Yeah, it felt a little similar to that, so I didn't want to do that. There's a lot of those kind of things that I want to do. And this one here, pancake. I had this guy kind of creature eating this pancake. I think I did a drawing on a spare piece of paper to jot down the idea, and then I did this drawing. I felt like the creature on the actual the blank piece of paper was actually a little bit better than this one. Just a little bit. It was a little bit more cuter. But it is what it is as well. I think it turned out okay. Could be a little bit better. But it gets pancake out there. And basically, yeah, keep going. I keep drawing. And I move on to the next thing. I do look at it and be like, what can be better? And then, sometimes I might tackle it and fix it up again. But for these drawings, I do kind of move on because I do them every 4 times a week. So keep going, keep moving. I note down, obviously, what's going on with this drawing. I was trying to find out, like, how was it more cuter in the other drawing that I have of it. I still have that, obviously. So, maybe one day I could reuse that drawing in some formal way. Or the creature, I've got this creature here that I've created. I could use him again in some way as well. So, it brings that up. Exploring new ideas and things like that as well. And, I've got different elements in this as well. I've got pancakes, I've got the creature, I've got the kind of mat he's sitting on. And I'm looking at it, it's like there are things I could have done better. I could have added shadow. Um, Here's one spatula. I felt like, I didn't have any reference with me. And I'm not so good at drawing humans and things like that. So, I felt like I've gotten a wee bit better at drawing humans over time, without reference. I do use reference when I can get it. Um, I used to have, I used to use like this drawing app. You'd have all the people's reference of people pop up, and you can draw them, like line of action, lineofaction.com. That's the one. I used to use that quite a bit, and I used to do it at night, um, every night at like 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. Just when just when I'm finishing all my paintings and calling it a night. I spend the next 30 minutes kind of, or 15 minutes, just drawing some humans. Do that every night and keep going. So I felt like it's paid off a little bit. It's helped. Um, and for me, I was just trying to get this pose of the character right. Um, Him pointing the spatula. Um, I felt like the dog could have looked like he's sniffing a little bit more. I've been trying to get that whole sniffing nose right. There are problems like that occur with that. That that where I do have to tackle that. Sniffing. Hedgehog is one of them. If you watch all my stuff, um, and yeah, that kind of occurs a little bit. So me understanding how that works could be very helpful, to learn. And this was a fun one. I had Pan, and I thought, I have these kind of. I was thinking of creatures at the start, but I ended up drawing food. Food cooking in the pan, cute food, kind of cooking in the pan there. Some of these drawings are photographed at night, and some of these are during, like, in the afternoon or lunchtime. At the moment, most of them are done at night. Unfortunately, that's the only time I can get them done. The photos done, because at the moment I don't have the tablet to take photos of, to have reference with me as well. I'm getting that back, soon, and then I'll be able to take the photos, a better photo hopefully of some of these drawings, and also I'll be able to take reference with me as well, take a little bit more reference, to help me out if I need it. Even if it's like I do these drawings and then I draw some references over and over again, to try and get better. I'm tackling like two stones. One, me just drawing on my own, trying to use what reference I have drawn from in the past, and apply it to my own drawings, or if it's drawing reference, trying to build up my reference library. So tackling those two stones, is always a goodie. Just why I try to tackle, through the week when I am kind of drawing in my sketchbook. So getting the reference back, being able to have some reference with me, be able to do a little bit more of that as well. And this word's task, so we're getting to the last 4 words. Yeah, and for this month, I've pretty much been, for the last 2 weeks, I've been without reference. It's all been out of my head drawings, which has been, kind of good in a way, because I'm not so reliant on reference. But yeah, just having that reference sometimes gives me that little bit of booster sometimes. or gives me a little bit more to draw if I need it as well. Once I finish this drawing, I then tend to draw more. Usually, once I've done this drawing, it's like that whole thing. Only draw for 5 minutes. If you draw for 5 minutes and then suddenly it's been half an hour and you're like, oh, I was only meant to draw for 5 minutes. It's kind of like that thing, only do this drawing on the day, this task drawing, do the drawing, and then I want to explore it more. I was, after this drawing, I was exploring, tasks. I was exploring like giving a creature just one task instead of two. Why would he do that? And thinking, where would it be as well? Like, because most, like boars, pig boars, and elephants, they all have two tasks. And there's a good reason, obviously, but I was thinking, why can't one creature just have one task? I was thinking that, yeah. So that, drawing that actually, it made me explore further, draw a bit more here and there. So it was good. And this one's feather. I can't remember if I'd done feather before, like in an Inktober or something. I don't think so. Not 100% sure, but I was thinking doing this kind of feathered serpent. I remember kind of drawing kind of a feathered serpent because there's a serpent in mythology that is a feathered servant of sorts. It's like ancient Aztec, I think. So, it's kind of off that idea I was going for in a way. This kind of face and kind of snakes is kind of one of those go-to, it's easy to draw things that I go to. Dragon-like faces are really easy for me because I draw them over and over again. They're kind of a comfort drawing for me. So that's kind of where it's fitted in. This was a very comfortable drawing for me. That's what made it kind of look good because, yeah, it was very comfortable. I'm used to drawing these kind of things. One of my kind of first drawings that I did full color was a snake. And looking back at it, it's probably not the best drawing I've had in my life. Back then, it was kind of the best drawing in a way. Back then, versus everything else I've drawn. But there was always something beating it and topping it off. Like after that, I did the frilled lizard, so that was better than that. And then after that, it was the turtle. After that, it was a red panda. So everything's topping up now. But now I can go back and redraw that, and hopefully it'll look way better if I was to compare it, because I've seen a bit of that. At the moment, I think the big trend is to draw or paint half your face, and have the other half of your face a photo, which is a pretty cool idea. And I've seen a lot of it. Like, I just woke up one day, went on Instagram, and pretty much every artist that I follow had one up. And I was like, oh my gosh, really? This is a big trend among artists, obviously. I don't know where it's come from, don't know how it's appeared, but I just saw it once and wow. Yeah, it looks cool. I was thinking about doing it, but I was like, nah, I'm all good. I'm not like, I kind of don't hop on trends that often. I think there was one or two that I've hopped on, but after that, yeah. This one's nail. Yeah, this one wasn't the best, I guess. It was okay. I had a kind of thought of the word on the Thursday before, thinking, oh, I might create something interesting idea. I don't know how to tackle it. Came to the day, and I'm like, I don't know how to tackle it. Um, and kind of just drew this. I think it worked out okay. Interesting idea. And I've tried to have this creature kind of chopping his nails, these long nails. So I feel it's okay. And this is the last drawing. This is here. Here on your head. Not here as in over here or anything like that. It's here on your head. And I had this creature. I thought of having like this uptight here. My daughter has here, and we tie it up like this a little bit. So that kind of idea popped in my head a little bit, as well. But yeah, I was just trying to create this like gremlin-like creature that has this here, all tied up. His hair, maybe it could have used with a little bit more hair on the sides or things like that. But this like furry creature, if his hair was untied, his whole hair would cover his face and drape down, kind of making him look like Cousin It, kind of a thing from the Addams Family. Yeah, so that's all my January drawings from my sketchbook. So hopefully you have enjoyed seeing them all. Whether you like quickly skip through them all. Went to my Instagram, been following me on Instagram. Cheers for that if you are. Or if you have watched this whole thing and listened to what I've said about it, maybe think about maybe doing some sort of challenge for yourself to keep you drawing, to keep you creating. I encourage you trying to do things in your sketchbook as much as you can. This challenge keeps me making sure that I do I do make 4 entries a week into my sketchbook at least. There's more entries that go in there obviously, but just making sure that I do have at least 4 drawings a day go into there, kind of a thing. So yeah, do you have any challenges you do in your sketchbook? Do you constantly make entries into your sketchbook? Or do you only use it in certain times? Like if you're going on a road trip? Feel free to comment below any of that stuff. I really do appreciate it if you do. Thanks for coming in and checking out this video. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.